back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I make seasoned rice, what we call seasoned rice in Jamaica. And it is made with rice and preparing the ackee and saltfish. I do have a video out on the ackee and saltfish if you would like to see how I prepare just the ackee and saltfish, but in this video you'll see how I prepare it. Okay, I might not go into depth with certain things, but I'll do my best. Let me go ahead and show you how we Jamaicans make ackee and saltfish. Get going is the saltfish, and I'm using that much saltfish. Okay, I'm not some saltfish comes with the skin on it that you have to clean, and that type of saltfish you can see in the ackee and saltfish video that I have out. Okay, but this one is doesn't have the skin. It's from this packet here, and this saltfish is much easier to work with. You don't have to be like, you know, after cooking it, cleaning the skin. And for 2 days I have this in water with some pimento seed, the allspice. So I'm gonna pour this water off and turn the stove on and allow this to cook for, you know, a couple of minutes, because, you know, it's been soaking for 2 days, so it's not so saltfish. And it's been soaking for 2 days and it's not so salty. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna get that going on the stove. I have the saltfish on the stove here, and as I told you, the saltfish is not hard to work with. It's been soaking for 2 days, and I'm not a saltfish person, so this much saltfish is what I'm using. And yeah, I'm gonna let it cook for, as soon as it comes to a boil, like after 2-3 minutes, I'm gonna turn it off, because, you know, there's not much salt to cook out of that saltfish. So guys, as you can see, the saltfish is boiling, and I'm giving it 2 more minutes. Okay, 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna turn the stove off, because that saltfish has been soaking and there's not much to boil out of it. Okay, so the main ingredient for the seasoned rice is, yeah, we need our rice, right? 2 cups of rice. So I have 1 cup there, and I'm gonna pour the other cup. I'm working with 2 cups of rice. And guys, look at my saltfish about to boil over in the stove. Look at that. You see, you have to watch it. You put the lid to the side there, and then I'm gonna turn it off in a minute. I'm giving it only 3 minutes. So we have our rice and saltfish. I showed you, to show you the type of saltfish I'm working with, bone salted fish bits, so the skin has been removed. But in my ackee and saltfish video, guys, you see the saltfish that I use there, where you have to clean the skin, and I show you in detail how to clean up your saltfish. And the seasoned rice, ackee, yes, ackee. I like the ackee in salt water. They have the one that it says ackee in brine, but I rather the salt water. And yeah, so I showed you the saltfish, the ackee, the rice, the main ingredients. And guys, sometimes when I cook with seasonings, I use what I have readily available sometimes. Okay, so what you need mainly is, like, you probably don't even need salt. You need your black pepper, you need all-purpose seasoning, and pimento seed, allspice. Well, that is if you like allspice, but I find it flavors the pot. So if some people don't like it, you don't have to cook with it, but it gives the pot a good flavor. Okay, let me turn off this stove here. So I'm using garlic, tomatoes. I'm going to use those 6 tomatoes, guys, the plum tomatoes. Okay, so or as well as you could use this, but I put them both for you to see. So I'm going to put this one away, and I'm going to use the 6 plum tomatoes. I have my Scotch bonnet pepper here. You could use, if you want to use chili pepper or whatever, you know, like, you know, the spiciness is what you need. But if you want the real Jamaican flavor, then the Scotch bonnet pepper. Okay, and this is my dry thyme, or fresh thyme you could use. And I choose to use 2 color onion. I have a piece here, red onion is healthy, and I'm going to use a piece of the yellow one. I'm going to use half of that. And shallot. I just have the shallot on hand. You don't have to. Okay. I just feel like using. I have adobo seasoning here. I just started using the adobo. Like, I don't use it much, I should say then. So I'm going to be using that. So as I said, it's optional. Like, if you have an all-purpose seasoning, whatever brand, you can use that. All-purpose seasoning with your black pepper and maybe just a little bit of salt. Because you're using saltfish, you don't really need a lot of salt. Yeah, and that's what you need, basically. All-purpose seasoning. And this is Scotch bonnet pepper. I don't even need this. This is powder one. So if you have the powder one, you don't need this one. Okay? But sometimes these go bad. So I tend to have the dried ones in the packet, so you know, if I need. And then I'm going to be using a piece of my pepper here, different colors. I'm going to be preparing all this prep, and 2 scallion here, or green onion, as Americans would say, or Canadians. And yeah, so the saltfish, I'm going to prepare these guys and I'll get back. Okay, the saltfish, I turned the stove off. You see, I had to lift the lid up. So I'm going to just prep these and get back to. So guys, I prepped most of the seasonings here. The shallot, the red onion, yellow onion, thyme, green onion, garlic, Roma tomato, and I'm using this much pepper. Okay, both colors. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use this, guys. I might use it because I have this, so I may not use it. And then here I have half teaspoon of adobo, all-purpose seasoning, the Maggi. See the adobo? So I have a half teaspoon of those, and also the black pepper. So it's basically the all-purpose seasoning and the black pepper I have there. And I only put 2 dashes of salt. If I need salt later, then I'll add either the all-purpose seasoning or the salt. And then yeah, let me just cut these up. So guys, the Scotch bonnet pepper, I'm using just a small piece. I don't use the skin, the seeds, because the seeds, guys, is where the spices. I learned the other day that the skin is hotter than the seed, but I think the seed is hotter. Anyway, I'm using the skin and not much, just that piece of the Scotch bonnet pepper. So now I have my saltfish is in some cold water. I'm just going to pick it up, make it smaller, and I'm going to be using, you can use the oil of your choice, guys. I'm going to be using olive oil to fry the ackee and saltfish. And ackee and saltfish, guys, for those of you who never saw the other video, ackee and saltfish is Jamaica's national dish. I have the saltfish rinse here. I washed it in water, and then let me just taste it, because you taste your saltfish, right? Because you're salting the saltfish, you don't need a lot of salt to cook with. And yeah, it's so soft. Like, the saltfish doesn't need much cleaning up, but you search your saltfish, because sometimes I find the saltfish has worms. But you look, because saltfish carry worm, like that piece there. I don't like the way that piece looks. So, and yeah, I won't even pick it up because it's so soft. By the time I start stirring it, then you know it's all broken up into the pot. And then I'm gonna put some oil in this pot. I'm gonna remove the saltfish and get the pot to heat, and then we'll cook up the ackee and saltfish first, and then we're gonna add the rice. Okay, so it's the seasoned rice is it's like the rice steamed with the ackee, but first we have to prepare the ackee. Oh guys, one thing I forgot, that's just bits of saltfish there. I forgot to boil some water to pour in my ackee. Some people just use it straight from the can. They pour the water off. I'm gonna open the can, pour the water off, and then, you know, they cook their ackee or rinse it. But I like to rinse mine with some hot water, so I'm just that much water, not much. Okay, I'm just letting the stove come to a boil, and then I'm gonna pour the water on the ackee, because the fact that it's coming from the can, guys, I wanna you know, give it a bit of a scald. Some people don't do that. They just open the can and use it the way it is, or just rinse it off. But I rather use the hot water. So this water needs to come to a boil. So you guys, you will need an opener to open your can. Okay, and the same way the ackee comes into the can, that oxtail video that I made, and talked about the baked bean into the can. Like, you know, the ackee is somewhat smushy, so you have to be gentle with it. Like, if I was in Jamaica, guys, I would be using the ackee on the tree. Okay, because I don't really love canned stuff, but we live abroad, so we have to use the canned one. And sometimes there's none on the tree also, even if you live in Jamaica, if it's not ackee season. And yeah, there it is. You see how smushy it is? That's why I don't really like canned stuff. But I'm gonna pour the water off. So the water is boiling, guys. I'm gonna turn the stove off because the ackee is, as you see, it's already cooked smushy. If you're getting the ackee in Jamaica from the tree, then you would be cooking the ackee. I'm gonna pour this water off. I just wanted to get just a bit of a scald for a minute or two, not cook, so I turned the stove off. One-third, guys, to quarter cup of oil. 1/3 cup is good, or quarter cup, that much. I showed you just enough to fry the ackee. And after immersing the ackee into the hot water, I drained it, rinse it and drain it. So it's draining, ready to be cooked. And the ackee, as you see, guys, is very soft. See, the stove is too hot. Let me turn it off. And then also I have here Martard's 9 or 10 ALLSPICE. So guys, I put in all the seasoning except the saltfish, and you stir it for like, just to get the onion to cook in a bit. Cook in the oil, the seasoning, onion and everything. So make sure your pot is hot, guys, when you're doing that part. Then after like half a minute, then you're gonna add the saltfish. And remember, guys, I rinsed my saltfish, washed it, and I tasted it. Okay, you have to taste it to make sure it's not too salt. because some saltfish carry a lot more salt than others, depending on what types of saltfish you buy. I'm gonna add the allspice. It's optional because you might not like allspice, guys. And yeah, basically I'm gonna add the seasoning here. I'm adding some of it, like half of it. And then the next half is going when the ackee goes on. It's kind of a saute, frying. See, the saltfish is breaking up. I didn't have to break it up. Now I'm going to add the ackee for the oil dries out. This is the ackee. The ackee is very smushy, guys. Now I'm going to turn the burner down. Looking good. And add the rest of seasoning. Because I'm gonna be cooking the ackee as seasoned rice, guys. I'm not gonna cook this anymore. Okay, because it's gonna be going into the pot with the rice. I'm gonna wash the rice. So that would be your ackee and saltfish. We have our ackee and saltfish with, but I'm not going to use all of this. Because I'm going to be using it other than in the rice. I think I might cook it just for like a minute or two. And let me add some more oil. You know, if it's dry, then you add more oil. So for this kind of ackee, 1/3 to 1/4 cup of oil do. But if you find your pot is dry, guys, you add a bit more oil. Yeah, and then you can cover this for like, if you want to add more black pepper, you could. If you want to add more black pepper, you could. Then you taste, guys, to see if it needs any more salt, because with the rice you have to make sure it's flavorful enough. So then when it goes in the water with the rice, let me taste it at this point, because I think I'm gonna have some on the side other than the seasoned rice, just a little bit. It's good. And if you need more salt, as I said, I probably could put a dash of salt more, as well as the Maggi season is salty. Your all-purpose seasoning of your choice, you could add something with salt. Okay, so work with the measured ingredients first, and then you add, if you want to add more pepper or saltiness, or even the salt itself. And you know, you stir this on a low flame, like a dash or two salt. And that's because the saltfish is not very salty. The saltfish is very salty. You have to be careful, guys. So the trick is working with that saltfish. But if you want to see in depth how to work with your saltfish when it's salty, you can go over to the Ackee and Saltfish video. So this is good. And you could pour like just a little bit of water, guys, just a little bit. That is if you're not cooking the if you're just cooking the ackee alone, yeah, you can add just a little bit of water just to make a little gravy. Then that's what I'm trying to say. And then if the pot is too dry also. And then you taste, and there you have your ackee and saltfish. And then now I'm gonna make the seasoned rice. Okay, this part you have to do first. Let me taste it. And now for the seasoned rice. Cover it. turn the burner off, and I'm gonna wash the 2 cups of rice. Guys, I could easily do this in an instant pot, but I'm gonna do it on the stovetop because, you know, a lot of people cook from the stovetop, I would suppose. Now guys, from here on, we're cooking rice, right? So I wash my 2 cups of rice, wash away the starch, put it in your rice. 2 cups of rice, 2 cups of water. You can use the same cup that you use to measure the rice, the water. And because I have the ackee, I think I'm gonna put, so you put your equal parts water to rice. And then I'm gonna put like a 1/2 to 3/4 cup more water. Yeah. So 2 cups rice, 2 and 1/2 to 2 3/4 cups of water. And then I'm gonna season my rice a bit with a little black pepper. You could just put the ackee in from this point, guys, but you know, I'm gonna put a bit of saltiness. Like, you can start off with a 1/4 teaspoon. So it's basically the adobo, the all-purpose. Give it a bit of a kick of seasoning there, and if it needs any more salt, I put a dash or 2. Let me taste this. Okay, and then a dash of salt. You could do the seasoning part after you put ackee in. So you can do it before or after. And I didn't do too much cooking on this ackee, guys, because you know it's gonna be cooked in the rice. So then you're gonna take your ackee. You're gonna take your ackee and put it in the pot with the rice, with the water. So I'm gonna leave some behind, guys. Some of my ackee. And that's basically what you do. You put the ackee. Your ackee is already cooked, so you just want to steam your rice now. Put as much as you like. So because I'm making 2 cups of rice, I took out like 3/4 or 1/2 of the amount of ackee I cooked. Put a bit more with the saltfish. And then I'm gonna turn my burner down on low. And when it starts boiling, guys, let me taste first. When it starts boiling, then I'm gonna add, put the foil paper on top of my rice, so that it steams. I think it can take a bit more salt. I hope that's not too much. That's like a teaspoon I just put there of the adobo. So you can put your all-purpose or any kind of saltiness you want. Yeah, it's good. So a dash more salt. So right here, guys, I didn't use measurement. It's up to you, right? You have control of how much salt and pepper you put at this point. Yeah, you're seasoning your rice now, so you want it to have taste. Okay, so that's good. Let me turn my, well, the burner should be on while I had this pot on the stove, but it's okay. I should have had the burner on. So then I turn the burner up to allow this to come to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it when as soon as it starts boiling, guys. I'll turn it down on 2 or 3, you know your stove, right? And I'm going to add the foil. So what I'm doing here now is cooking the rice. This is called seasoned rice with ackee and saltfish. Some people who don't like ackee, I suppose they make their seasoned rice with pumpkin and saltfish, or maybe some people, their stomach can't take the ackee. At this point, guys, I'm steaming my rice, right? You're steaming your rice, so you're gonna turn the flame down and allow it to steam nicely so that the water doesn't evaporate too quickly. So you stir it up. And then with that much water, I should be good to get a nice steam rice. And for it to steam evenly and nicely, I'm gonna add the foil paper. And guys, be careful how you use your foil paper. You don't want foil paper to get into your food. I suppose sometimes I use the parchment paper, because you know foil paper is that substance you don't, if it goes into your body, you know, it doesn't do good. What I mean, you don't especially the thin foil paper, you know, just check your foil paper to make sure it's not broken, so that it doesn't go in your food, because that foreign substance going in your body's going to be in pain. You don't want that living into anywhere in your body, so be careful when using your foil paper. So I have the stove turned on low, which is 2 or 3, and so this was like it came to a boil after 2-3 minutes after I had it on a high flame. And then I add the foil paper, and I'm gonna leave it covered. I because it's on low, I think I won't check it until, I'll say, half an hour time. I'll come back to check. I won't open it. Half an hour later, guys, we're sneaking into the pot. Everything looks good here. Everything looks good here. See what wonder the foil paper does. The foil paper does wonder. And guys, I could have made it in my instant pot, right? It would have been done already, but because, you know, I have to take into consideration that you guys are watching and may want to try the recipe, so you know, and you don't have an instant pot, but cook your rice in whatever pot you want to cook. If it's I'm gonna turn this burner off because it's done, and this is half an hour later. Hello, 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 hello. And guys, I'm so excited. I love seasoned rice. I love seasoned rice, and I could have used all of the ackee, but you know, I wanted to leave that ackee behind for eating later. And you taste your rice, you stir it up, taste. Half an hour later, it's cooked. This is good. So I'm gonna taste this. So guys, I'm trying to get my Ackee and Saltfish here to look really attractive and nice. Okay, so I'm gonna serve it in this and turn it out, and that looks delicious. Yum 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 yum. Look at that. So I'm gonna serve the rest and then taste for you to see. Guys, this seasoned rice is how Jamaicans would describe it when it is good. The seasoned rice turn up, guys. It turn up, mean it's good. Guys, please give the video a thumbs up. Okay, give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. It's really good. This is island living, guys. Island living. We eat with a fork, but I just feel like eating this time with this thing. And the seasoned rice is so good. It truly is good. I'm just gonna taste it here. And I am really excited, guys, because it's just on point. It's perfect. It's not salty. I like working with that saltfish. And guys, it's good. Please try it. You need to try it, guys. This is so good. Guys, I can't stop eating. Give the video a thumbs up. Okay, this is the best seasoned rice ever. The best seasoned rice ever. I love it. And the pimento seed, the allspice, it gave it such a kick. The right amount of saltfish. It wasn't too much saltfish. Okay, guys. I love you all. Thanks for being here once more, and see you in the next video. Guys, I have to show it off here. I have to show it off here. Look at this. Oh my god, I am excited. But the avocado, guys, you know how much I love avocado. You know how much I love avocado. As I said to you guys, Jamaica's national dish is ackee and saltfish, and I also have another ackee and saltfish video. You could go over and, you know, check out my playlist and take a look at those videos and leave a comment down below. So good, guys. I'm telling you, and this is fact. I'm telling you, fact. This seasoned rice is on point. It's perfect. The right amount of salt, the right amount of spice, and guys, love you all. I'm gonna get down into this with the avocado. Guys, one last bite. Look at this with my avocado. Guys, would you like to see me take a bite off the pepper? But I won't bite the seeds. My tongue is on fire, right, guys?